With me, I've got Neil Jenkins, who's a past player of Parkdale. Neil, welcome to GameFace.
Thanks, Coach.
Mate, I've been to a lot of these functions, you know, past players, reunions, all that sort of stuff, and every single one means something different to each past player. What's this one mean to you?
Well, I suppose it's a reflection on everything that happened in those 30 years or the previous years before winning the premiership, all the hard work that went in. Not only like what the players did, but the whole club. We had a great training staff. The club got everything organised off the field, so pretty much all we had to do was go out and play. Yeah, we're all sort of homegrown players, which was probably the most pleasing thing, I think. And to come back and have these days is, yeah, it's good. Everyone's obviously 30 years older, so you catch up with guys and what have you been doing, and some guys their body shapes look a bit different. Some guys haven't got much hair anymore, but look, it's great, it's fantastic, and that's what sport's about, you know. You get most of your lifelong friends out of being involved in clubs.
I've always said sport's one of those, I don't know, activities, if you like, that crosses all socio-economic barriers. You can be playing, a plumber can be playing with a lawyer can be playing with a politician or a doctor or a chippy.
Yeah, no, exactly right. We were probably more a trade-based club here, but yeah, there was guys that used to roll up in suits at training, and they'd get here a little bit later. And but come game day,
you gave them heaps, did you?
Yeah, about getting a bit of dirt underneath their fingernails and that. But come game day, no one knew what anyone else did as far as work or whatever. It just went out and we all had a common goal.
I'm going to go a little bit left field. Women's football, mate, and I don't want you to be controversial, but what I'm getting to, or the point I'm alluding to is that I wasn't all that into it. I'm very much into it now after seeing a lot of local women play. But what I love about women's football is the fact that they actually get a chance to do what we did as young guys and go out there and play for their mates.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Look, I was a bit sceptical in the start because I thought they'd rushed into it, but and it's probably going to be like that for a few more years. But girls that are doing Auskick and going through junior programs now, their skills are going to be a lot better. So it's not going to be that scrappy game that you see. But the girls that are playing it now that haven't done any sort of Auskick or junior foot, they're doing the best they can on a limited preparation, and they enjoy it because first year we've had girls here to see how we've got a young list here, how the boys and the girls get on. Now it's been interesting to observe, to sit back and see, you know, because they obviously have combined social functions.
Yep.
And
the great part about it is the females now aren't coming as the girlfriends of the players. They're coming as players in their own right, which I think sort of adds to as you said, the dynamic of the club. Before we go, what's the one thing that you reckon you are really good at that you can pat yourself on the back and say, I did that well, I really couldn't have done that much better on the footy field?
That's for probably other people to judge. I'm not going to say that. I like me footy, but yeah, look, I was just happy being a local person to be lucky enough to play here, captain the club, and be fairly successful in the era I was here. So that's probably it.
Modest as usual. They're all the same, except I'm not. Good on you, Neil. Lovely to talk to you, mate, and thanks for your time.
Good on you. Thanks, Coach.
With me, I've got Phil Emmett, who is a past player. Of course, we're at the Past Players Luncheon here at Parkdale. Phil's not only a former president, but he's also a former player. Now, you're a player in the '89 Premiership, am I correct, Phil?
That's correct, yep. I hold the record here at Parkdale. Actually, I've played over 400 games here.
Wow, and when you say over, you must know exactly. Come on, don't just say over.
Well, I don't know exactly because I played Supers here as well, but senior games I played 405, I think it was. So from 1977 right through till the years blur.
You might have a lot of hair on top, Phil, but it's not great. Look at mine. Hey?
Well, not quite. No, not quite as bad, but yeah, it's. No, I'm still playing actually. So
no way.
Yeah, still playing over 50s down at Frankston.
Gee, you make me look bad. Gee, I get sore just walking down to the shops.
I tell you now, I can remember that premiership win 30 years ago as clear as day, and the guys here, it's great to catch up. Yeah.
Does everybody that screamer's a bigger screamer these days, and the goal from 40 is now a goal from 60? You know, as the years go on, everybody's sort of elaborating a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the goals are from a bit further out than they were, and yeah. It does get better, yeah. It does get better and better every year. But no, it's fantastic. Fantastic turn up today.
Just getting, and I've done a little bit of research, spoken to a couple of former players, and they told me it was a very well-run club back then. And I'm not just saying that because you were the president, but it was a very well-run club. It was almost like a semi-professional club back, or professional club back then, like an AFL club back then.
Yeah, we were known in the area for our administration, and off-field activities, and we had a very strong committee, very dedicated, committed guys who are still on the committee here today. We're on the committee back in '89.
Wow!
So you know, there's always been commitment, and I was fortunate enough to be president in '89 with a fantastic committee.
Phil, do you remember probably the most important decision you made, or was there a pivotal moment in that year in '89?
Never sacked a player, but yeah, I think when you're in a small club, you do the whole committee and the playing group, senior playing group, do get together and talk about who we need to get back, and we need to strengthen our playing list. So that was a group decision. And getting Mark Bowden back as coach, he had a heap of experience, great footballer. So, that all these things contributed. Major decision, I would say, as I said today up there, I think not merging when it was proposed at the end of '88, that was the major decision. God knows where we'd be today if we had it, but here we are, strong as ever as Parkdale Footy Club.
Very similar to the Hawks, mate. Remember when that was going down, and they were very, very close.
Yeah.
Speaking of the not merging, but of course you've got the Vultures, the Parkdale Vultures. What has impressed you about the club? These days, you must be impressed now with the rooms and how much has changed.
We've leaps and bounds. We've come leaps and bounds from where we were in '89, and that's just development and progress. And what's happened here today, what we see here today is just phenomenal, and I'm so proud to have been associated with this club as a merged club between Parkdale and Mentone Amateurs, and back in the old days. And I think every year, it's part of your development, part of your growth, and here we are today. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
What do you think was the best thing you did, either as a player or as a president, in that year in '89?
Best thing that I did.
What's your greatest achievement? What you might say to yourself, go to bed at night and think, gee, I'm glad I did that. Can you think of any one particular thing? Or personal, yeah, or club-wise, it's up to you.
I think club-wise, it was just maintaining discipline, both on and off the field. I think, and we had some characters around the club, and they know who they were, and there was things that happened, but we maintained discipline. I think that was the crux of it. Everyone knew that, we were serious about doing the right thing for ourselves and the community, and I think that's probably the biggest thing both. And Mark Bowden was a stickler for discipline on the field too, so I think that both on and off the field, the discipline was the biggest thing, I think, that got us where we did.
Just before we go, what do you think of the current batch? Are you impressed with the current Parkdale boys?
When I go into the rooms and look at them, they're young guys, young kids, and I think, wow, I am impressed. There's a great crop of young blokes there, and if they stick around, this club is going to continue to go higher, no doubt about it. As I said, I'm so proud, not only the facilities, but where the club is now with its playing group and committee.
Good on you, Phil. Well, let's hope you might even crack the 1,000 if you keep playing. I don't know if you might do the...
I don't think so.
Good on you, Phil. Great to talk to you, and you go back and enjoy your mates.
Thanks, Coach.
Get your GameFace on.